Oh, Lord.
What's up, everybody? I'm ZoinkMeister Adam, joined by RikuTodoroki.
How's everybody doing?
And today we're doing something different that we haven't done pretty much ever. This is like an interview style. I don't know, not interview. That's not a good word.
Just a podcast.
It is just a podcast. It's like a mini cast compared to the usual long play podcast because this is about him. This is all about you. It's all about you.
You don't need to make it all
it's
about
all
me.
about you.
It's all
This is entirely. I don't know if we want to call this like a cross promotion or like I don't know what you. I guess just a podcast. Screw it. I don't know what to call this. Essentially, Mr. Todoroki, was it?
Yes, it is.
He's a streamer, and I am not that much. So. But instead, I don't know what you want to call it. Not cross promotion because we make no money. Maybe cross promotion because we make no money. I guess
you could call it cross promotion.
He's my friend.
Oh my god!
So he's on the podcast, and this is hopefully this is the first time on ZoinkMeister. Period.
Hopefully not the last.
Definitely not the last. I won't allow this to be the last. So no Patrick today. This is like entirely just a me thing. So that I'm trying and then seeing if this works. Regardless, I will have Riku back on the channel at some point, guaranteed. And that's a stamp of approval. So first off, right, I think we've properly done our intro. I have a little list of questions to go off of since he's new to the channel. I feel like we should do this more oftenly. I had already talked with Patrick about this too. These like I don't know, like the personality breakdown podcast. This is the first one of it, but at some point. Some of the other members of ZoinkMeister as well, or guest stars such as Melmouse, Melissa, and John, will probably both get one of these as well, where it basically goes through a breakdown.
Excitement.
Yeah, excitement. We both currently, I'm sorry if you heard his drinking sound, we both have Monsters. That's today's drink of the day.
It's our mushroom power up for the day.
Yeah, it's our little pick-me-up. He has the standard green. I have the blue low-carb one.
You know, he's trying to be healthy.
I'm trying, yeah. I'm kind of fat, but you guys don't know that. So not too fat though, like fat enough where like I'm still attractive, but like still with enough fat where you can say like he could lose some. Anyways, so we got to the intro. First off, how are you? How are you today?
Actually, okay. You know, just kind of woke up early. I'm not really a morning person.
Oh, I know. I told him at 8 today.
Get me up out the bed.
Yeah, get him up out of bed at 8. I wake up at like 6:15 every morning.
Yeah, no.
So
I will never.
Yeah, so I like to early bird and I go to bed pretty late, so I just don't get enough sleep really.
That's too much.
Which is fine. I hate sleep. I wish I didn't have to.
What the heck? I love sleep.
I hate sleep.
Sleep is what you need.
I really wish I didn't have to sleep.
Sleep is what you need every day. I don't know who told you that you don't need sleep, but you need sleep every day.
Yeah, I don't like to sleep every day. So let me back this up. Actually,
this is why he's crazy.
There we go. Readjusted the mic. I realized we're not really supposed to have the mics directly behind each other because it picks up a lot of each other. But it's fine. It'll overlap. It'll be good. It'll all be good. Okay, so first off, your name / username, RikuTodoroki.
Yes, it is.
What's the story behind that?
Well, two of my favorite anime characters. I was Riku from Kingdom Hearts and Todoroki from My Hero.
Yeah.
So that's where the name came from.
Yeah. Both are awesome characters. I wouldn't really call Riku an anime character, but I guess
why wouldn't Riku be considered an anime character?
He's a video game character.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Not even a little.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yes.
I wouldn't call Final Fantasy an anime.
Why wouldn't you?
Because it's not. It's a game franchise.
Okay, so let's take Dragon Quest.
I still wouldn't call...
Okay, let's take Dragon Quest.
Uh-huh.
They have an anime.
Yeah. Final Fantasy has several movies.
I consider that anime. Don't several
anime. Yeah, but I wouldn't say like Goku's a video game character because
he is a video game character.
But he's an anime character first.
They have video games too.
Of course, but I wouldn't say he's primarily that.
I consider it's an anime. Everyone loves the franchise. It's a big old series.
No, that's like saying, oh yeah, Naruto, from those TikTok running videos. It's like, it doesn't equal that. Like, I
think it does.
I don't think so.
Come on now.
For any of the less antiquated with Japanese, Riku means earth. And Todoro, thunder, and Ki, tree. So
thundering tree of the ground.
Yeah, thundering tree of the ground. Very interesting set of words. Sounds real cool. And if you think, Japanese is so cool, literally everyone's name is that. Yeah. In fact, Adam, I believe, is Hebrew for red soil. So red soil or red earth. And I can't devote my last name, but it also means something. And it goes together, but I won't ever show that information. So yeah, that's interesting, especially considering that Todoroki is like a newer anime character in like the world. Or like, I mean, how old is My Hero? Not more than like 5 years, right? Yeah, so it's in terms of you just like really just vibe with that character. Really like My Hero. Have you seen the new season?
No, not yet.
Me neither. I've gotten the first episode in, and I decided to let it kind of long play out so I can play catch up once like the season finishes. Really like it though. Really liked every single season actually. Not too fond of gentle criminal. I did. But other than that, I really liked the whole series so far. So you're not on YouTube.
No, actually, I do have maybe a couple videos on YouTube.
Okay.
They're unlisted right now because I'm kind of shy, I guess.
Oh, okay.
To release them
out.
out.
Get yourself out there.
Yeah.
The dating scene is quite hard.
Apparently.
Yeah. Okay. So, but primarily Twitch then.
Yeah, primarily is you'll find most of my videos. I might do a couple YouTube, but Twitch is primarily where you'll find me.
And what is it you do on Twitch?
Well, you'll find fighting games on there. I'm a big right now. Of course, Guilty Gear just came out. Monday?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I watched a little bit of your stream this morning from last night, and that game looks really good.
I enjoy that game.
It looks so good. Like,
it's really fun.
I always thought Fighters was like Dragon Ball Z Fighters or Dragon Ball Fighters was like the benchmark for how a good fighter should look.
Yeah, no.
But that looked really good.
It's really fun.
It looks so good.
I don't know. It's just really good, beautifully done game.
I can't fathom. Like I honestly, like, if you're into the whole fighters aesthetic, which I wish more games were like doing, like I'm still like begging for our like Naruto's fighters or whatever you want to call it or something like that along that lines. I want to see more games in this style. And when I watched your stream, I was like blown away to see how good it looks. Like, especially when someone pulls off a super, like the camera effects and cinematography or the way they like handle it just looks fantastic.
It's like I said, I love
like
that
it game. Just cuts away to a great anime for a second. Like it just, I was like blown away. The transition effect is just fantastic, man. So yeah. Which game is that, by the way? Which Guilty Gear?
Strive.
Okay, and that just came out.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not too. I've never played a Guilty Gear game. So it just looks so good. So I'm probably gonna have to jump in and give this one a try.
It's really good.
I don't know. I have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which is supposed to come out tomorrow at the time of this recording.
It's supposed to come out today.
Is it today? I thought it was tomorrow.
I thought it was today.
I'll have to go snack that up then. That's what I've been looking forward to playing. But maybe after that, I might have to give that a try because it looks too good to pass up. So yeah, is that what you're just playing right now, or do you have anything else? I know you're a big Final Fantasy 14 guy.
I am a big Final Fantasy 14 guy. I have videos on that. I do raid on there. I have a set team with the girl named Flo.
Okay,
guys. Shout out to Flo. All the dots. Mika, Kuro, Cal. All you guys.
Oh yeah, if they have any what's it called, social media or any YouTube channels, I'll put them in the links in the comment description. I don't know if they want to be physically found or if you just wanted to like tell them later, like, hey guys, you guys were mentioned in this podcast, because you could do that too. But if you want them to be mentioned, I will also put them in the comments below.
I'll find out.
Okay.
Probably not though.
This will probably not though. I'm reckon this will probably go out in about 3 days.
Nice.
Or so. I'm gonna try to work on it. So if you could find out in that time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So mostly just fighting MMOs, huh?
Yeah. Or I do JRPGs. Also I do Dragon Quest, Persona 5. I also do Persona Strikers right now.
Which that's for what is that on?
What, Strikers?
Yeah.
That's also for PS5.
Okay. It's also on PS5. Okay.
Yes. So those are kind of the games where I'm at. I mostly stick to like RPGs, MMOs. Fighters are typically where I'm at a little bit. Some shooters, the only shooter game I play is probably Apex.
Okay. I honestly, I jumped in Apex in the very beginning mostly because they were by, I burped. I burped again. The Titanfall team, which for some reason, I don't know why I can't
think of their name.
What is their name? I feel really bad about it. It's early in the morning. My brain's not working. I don't know why. I literally was talking about them the other day. It's bothering me so much. Titanfall 2. I'm gonna have to Google it because I'm having what do they call it? A brain chart. Respawn. God damn it. Respawn Entertainment.
Okay.
Which I love them. In fact, me and Patrick recently here got the platinum for Titanfall 2.
Dang.
A couple days ago. It was really good. That's going to appear on the channel at some point. So I jumped into Apex. I thought it was really cool. But I was like, yeah, this ain't Titanfall. But it's still fun. And then luckily, because Apex shot up and became like the world's most popular game for a while, before Fortnite took that King's crown back.
Oh God.
A huge amount of people flocked back to Titanfall 2, which I was super happy about. I really hope a Titanfall 3 is coming. But other than that, all those other games you mentioned before, I don't really play.
You should really try them.
I'm not an MMO guy.
I know you're not.
I tried giving what was it called? Genshin Impact a try.
Okay.
And I played it for like a month or so, but then the PS5 came out and just completely swamped that away for me. And then I've been completely just taken up on everything else. JRPGs, I mean, I've got a few. I've platinumed Final Fantasy 15, but you claim that's not a good game.
It's not.
I think it was I think it does a good job for a long time until chapter 13, then it falls apart because I platinumed it maybe a month after release. So I did it in the very beginning. And I know they've made a huge ton of improvements to that game since. So I haven't even played the best version of that game, but I still enjoyed it up until chapter 13. And I thought the score was phenomenal and the effects and mechanics of that game were outstanding.
Gameplay wise, yes, it's a beautifully done game. Story wise, it sucks. It lacks a lot.
It does, but there's something about the story sucks and it's overly complicated and it's like
it makes no sense.
Unnecessarily complicated. Like you feel like you're missing chunks and chunks and chunks of story.
Exactly.
And
that's why the game is horrible. You play those types of games for the story.
Yeah, but sometimes it just felt so lively, man. Like I'll be in the middle of battle and like you just see like Prompto doing something in the corner, like, and you're like, dude, what is he doing? And like you're like, whatever, and you're like fighting something. And then after the battle, he's like, hey dude, I took some pictures. And you'll be like, what? And he'll be like, yeah, during the battle. And you're like, you look back, you're like, I've like screen recorded and like went back and checked. And yeah, he is legitimately in battle. Like he'll like slash something or whatever and like jump away and pull out his camera and take a picture.
Wow.
If you're just hanging out in the car, they'll have like legitimate conversations, which I thought was cool. Sometimes they say all kinds of stuff. Sometimes they don't say anything at all. And it just felt so lively. It felt like as far as the game went, those four individuals, Ignis, Prompto, Noctis, and Daddio.
Wow, really?
They made him unnecessarily handsome. Like he is, Gladio is way too big of a man. He's huge. He's a giant, like he looks like just Snake from Metal Gear, like just randomly in the universe. He's huge. He's better at pretty much every stat than Noctis. Like if you look at his skill stats, it's just that Noctis can like teleport around. So it's like he's a much better character.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, I would like totally play a Gladio game. So yeah, that's
called Episode Gladio. I don't know if you know that.
I do know that was the first DLC patch to come out, I think. Followed by Ignis, and I think they cut Prompto, right? Is that where they ran out of money?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I stopped after the original story. That game was useless to me.
I got the platinum and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so that's cool. I hope to bring you back on the channel and to also cross spread that because we on this channel honestly don't do any MMOs and not very many JRPGs and definitely not enough fighting games. On this channel alone, I have done Mortal Kombat X. I recently finished.
I've seen.
And then Tekken 7, which I finished last year, I believe. And those are the extent. I'm a big Tekken guy. I love Tekken, but I wasn't even that into Mortal Kombat, although I did have fun with it.
I'm really not a big Tekken guy.
Yeah. In fact, he seemed to be more of a J fighter type.
Yes. I love anime fighters. Blaze Blue, Uniclear, trying to think what else they have had. Central Fiction, BB Tag. Those are all the games.
See, I don't even know some of those. So it's perfect.
So you gotta broaden your horizons.
I do. It's something. I mean, JRPGs. I mean, there's so many. I'd probably never like fully jump in and like not know what's trash and what's fun.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. But fighting games, I would like to learn to get better at. Let's see. What is your favorite game?
That's a hard question.
It is.
That's a very hard question. You're talking about 20-something years.
Exactly.
Of gaming.
Me and Patrick did it. We did our top 20.
That's a lot harder.
Dude, it was like 6. How many episodes did it end up being? It was like it was like 6 hours of content.
That's like not an easy question.
We like did our homework. We like came back with a list of 20 and like by year and like searched up everything. Like our stream of podcasts and our top 20 took such a long time. They're actually both on our channels because they're separate. We have the main ZoinkMeister channel, and then we have individual ZoinkMeister Adam and ZoinkMeister Patrick channels that we use for commenting specifically to commenters. Yeah. And then in our descriptions, it actually has our top 20 games if you ever want to look that up. Number one for me is Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots for the PlayStation 3.
Wow.
My favorite game of all time. It used to be a tie between Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3DS and that game, and then slowly I realized who I loved more.
That is a very hard question. I can't. Favorite game of all time.
Favorite game of all time.
Oh my god!
I sent you these messages like
I know
at like
but
6 a.m.
Yes, and you only gave me 2 hours to think of my. You can't just spring that on somebody and answer that in 2 hours.
I think it's honestly, when it comes to gaming, that might be the most important question.
Yeah, it is
because it says a lot about you.
It defines who you are as a gamer.
Defines who you are. And while you think, I'll just vamp a little bit. Like, I understand Metal Gear Solid 4 is not a perfect game.
No, it is.
A lot of people say like, oh, it's too much movie. Oh, it's like the story's all over the place. I understand it has its faults, but to me personally, I think mechanically, as far as like it's an end to a series of games, so the story makes sense if you play the other ones. It's all over the place and it's just a crazy bunch of nonsense, and the gameplay is fantastic and fun. So that's like, altogether that package means a lot to me. It's also the first game I ever got for my PS3. And the PS3 was essentially the first major console I saved up for and bought myself. So I played the hell out of that game. In fact, I believe before my younger sister destroyed my save file by leaving because I had a fat classic PS3. It's actually over there next to the other 2 PS3s on the shelf. Yeah. The classic fat PS3 has overheat problems. So she left it on in like a cupboard and like closed the cupboard door or whatever, and it overheated, destroyed my save file. But before that, I had beaten that game because it has like a little star next to the amount of times you've beaten the campaign. I think I've beaten that game like 48 times. I really like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh my God, 48 times.
Yeah. So I hope in that time I've just explained all that. You have an explanation.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Probably Final Fantasy 14. It's probably my top game.
Now. Really?
Yeah, because I invested so many hours into that game. I invested maybe like over 7,000 hours.
Oh my God.
Playing that game.
That is a lot.
Yes.
That is a lot.
Yes. I enjoyed that game a lot.
Clearly. 7,000 hours?
That story is really good. The story is really good. They just announced
Tobias, what is 7,000 hours? Hold on, I'm gonna have Tobias look it up. Tobias isn't real. Tobias is just me looking at the corner of the room, like we have an editor. It's all me. This is all edited by me later. But Tobias is like saying, "Oh yeah, there's someone in the corner over." There is no Tobias. Let's see, 7,000. Go ahead. I'm doing this.
I want to know what Tobias says.
291 days.
Yeah, that should have been
continuous. Dude, that's too much. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
how long has this game been out?
This story is really good. I mean, the story is fantastic. It's getting better and better and better. They just announced their next expansion called Endwalker, and
wait, Final Fantasy 14 was released September 30th, 2010.
Yeah. This game has been out for a very long time.
11 years?
Yes.
My God.
I keep telling you, this game is fantastic.
So, okay. So is this the game where it released and then it sucked and then
Yes.
they blew it up?
They blew it up and then they reopened it.
Like in the cat, like a meteorite came down, killed everybody, and then the universe got like revamped. And that game is the current Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes.
And that game is good. That game is really good.
This game is fantastic.
I know, what was it? Stormblood was the last physical release. It got like a new disc print for it. And I saw the reviews and they were like all 9s and 10s.
Yes,
so it's like very well reviewed, especially considering that it's like continuously updated, apparently decade old game that is still going strong.
Very strong.
So, I mean, if it's strong enough to get a second press onto a new disc, it must be like good enough, right? I mean, what is the last second press? Like Monster Hunter Iceborne got like a second press, right? For its DLC. I mean, it's not a common thing. If a DLC is so big,
they get its own disc.
Yeah, it's like that's impressive to me.
Yes. Like that game is really fantastically well written. They just announced Endwalker. They released 2 classes, Sage and Reaper. I'm really excited to play Reaper. I'm actually a tank main in that game. I'm a Gunbreaker main. I'm planning to switch to Reaper, but also still keep that tanking aspect for myself because I love Gunbreaker. It reminds me so much of Squall. I love Squall.
I don't know who any of those people are aside for Squall. So
they're just jobs. They're jobs.
Okay. And Squall is
technically a Gunbreaker in Final Fantasy XIV.
He lives the whole game.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's all into that. 7,000 hours. That blows my mind. Like, really? Like that's like it's almost 300 continuous days.
Yeah. Probably almost into the 8,000s now.
Yeah, I guess there's people that I guess like literally have been playing like World of Warcraft like every day for like, how long has that game been on? Like 20 years, right? Like those are like the people.
Let's not talk about that game.
That's like a second job. I don't talk about that game.
I don't like that game.
I don't like that game either. But it's okay because I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't see the appeal to it. I'm not an MMO guy.
Neither do I.
And then it looks like a PS2 game. Like it's just I don't understand like why people still play it.
Don't they update that game?
I don't know.
Graphics wise.
Yeah, it's just a whole lot of things I just don't understand about that game. But it's not that I think it's bad. It's just not for me. Which is fine. We don't all have to like everything, but it doesn't mean things are bad.
Yes, it does.
So
yes, it does.
So how long have you been gaming?
Ooh, I got my first console was a Nintendo 60. Well, no, take that back. It was a Super Nintendo.
Oh, good, even better.
Super Nintendo was
arguably.
My first. Excuse me?
Arguably even better.
Okay, I was about to say is that arguably.
Well, because it's like if you only had like Tim Allen's Home Improvement for the Super Nintendo versus like Ocarina of Time on the 64, then it could be better. But if it's like, if you had Super Mario World and like, Donkey Kong Country 2 or whatever, and like you only had like
Donkey Kong Country 3. Excuse you.
Really? You prefer 3 to 2?
I love Dixie Kong. I don't know what it is. I love Dixie.
She's in 2.
She's in. Well, I don't really like her in 2. It's just the music. The music to it is not appealing. Like
really,
it's really not. I played the game because I like the ending. Like when you level cleared 2 versus 3, I feel like 3 was a lot better.
Yeah.
I feel like 3 is a lot better. The music to 3 was really fun. I love the music to 3.
See, I believe I have all 3 of those games, but in like very various, like I think I have Donkey Kong Country 1 in Japanese and on the SNES Classic and on the, I think it's on the Switch, Switch store or the Switch online SNES library. I think both of those titles might be. So I might have to go back and give it a little play. I burped. I've wanted to do them on the channel, but they're not easy games.
Those games are really easy.
If you go back and play them, especially some of the karting levels,
it's really easy.
Some of them they're not easy.
They're really easy.
But they're not like super hard, but they're not easy. Like recently, me and Patrick last year, we played Mega Man X. And that game was so much harder than I remember it being. We actually, especially Launch Octopus, we spent like 45 minutes on Launch Octopus. Yeah, I was playing that level because we were alternating.
I've never played like a Mega Man game.
Oh man, you got it. They're much harder than they should be. Not much harder than they should be. Much harder than I remember them being in my memories. So when I went back, they were much more difficult for adult me. And adult me platinums games all the time. Like I like a challenge.
That's the problem right there. That's why it's so hard.
I love we ended up 100% in that game all the way.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
Let's see, Super Nintendo was my first
So
console.
Super Nintendo is your first console. I know how old you are, but we don't talk about our age on the channel.
Yes.
So is that like a hand-me-down, or did you get that?
I think it was a hand-me-down. It was, because I remember having Super Mario World.
Okay, fantastic game.
And
Arguably
then
the best Mario game ever made.
It is
arguable.
That's arguable, right?
It is
there.
arguable. It depends on whether you're a 2D guy or a 3D guy.
That's arguable.
And then if
right
you're
there.
a 2D guy, it's always between Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3.
That's I would agree.
Yeah, that's
I'll
always.
I'll probably lean to more Super Mario World, because it's just, I think it's just you see speedrunners do that game versus 3.
Yeah,
you see more speedrunners.
Personally, my favorite game is Sunshine.
I agree with you on
Yeah.
that one. I love Sunshine.
Yeah,
Sunshine was so much fun to me.
I have 100% of that game twice on GameCube and on Switch.
I don't understand why people don't like that game. That game is so much fun.
I don't either. I think the GameCube would have sold way more if that game was at launch instead of Luigi's Mansion.
That game was so much fun. But I also, for the Super Nintendo, I remember a Scooby-Doo game I used to play the hell out of, and it was so fun.
Do you remember the name of it specifically?
Scooby-Doo Mystery, I think. And it was just, that game was super fun to me. I've never beaten that game. I've never been able to beat that game. I've gotten close a few times, but I've never like sat down and physically beaten that game. I think what else.
I looked it up. The SNES released in 1991 in North America, so you've been gaming for a minute.
Yes.
Well, of course, you said it was a hand-me-down, so it won't be the exact year, but exactly like plus 20 years.
Yeah.
Like easy. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Same for me. Over 20 years of gaming without devoting my age. Here's the next question that might help, because I actually do know mine. I don't know if you have to like deep dive into your brain to get this one. What was your first game?
Oh yeah, that's just kind of hard.
Because mine is essentially
from what I remember, or my first like.
Well, for me, right, the first game I'd say I ever played was it'd have to be a tie between if you would say played or if you would say completed or beat. My first game I ever beat was Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy.
See, are we talking about completed?
I was 4 years old. Like I beat I rolled credits.
What the hell?
Yeah, I could read very early, and like I was playing. Yeah, I still have all the Pokemon games. Every generation you'll find up there at some point. In fact, if you look at the very top, Soul Silver, those 3 up there, the 2 English boxes and the Japanese.
Pearl.
Yeah, of course.
So you're getting the open world one too.
Yeah, Arceus. Yeah,
okay.
Legends Arceus. We'll see how that one is. I'm really excited for Diamond and Pearl. They're like arguably the last good games.
Pokemon games?
Yeah, the last good Pokemon games. The rest have just been, I'd play them and be like, well, that happened. So hopefully they'll be good. But besides that, my uncle, we would play Tekken 3 on the PS1.
God.
Which I think is one of the greatest games of all time. In fact, that game, basically, I would say is what helped a lot of modern fighters get to where they are now.
Okay.
Because I think that was the basis where they figured it out. Where they're like,
so you wouldn't say Mortal Kombat would be in that mix at all?
No.
Why not?
Because Mortal Kombat essentially is
because that came first.
Yeah, of course that came first. But like, okay, so this is a 3D fighter. Tekken 1 is a 3D fighter, of course. Not the first, but arguably the first to be good. Like all the way good. Like if you can still play Tekken 1 today, and it'll feel like Tekken 7, just like a really bad version of it. Or not a bad version, but it's like a really old school version of it. Okay. Like some of the movesets are still the same.
Well, yeah.
Just expanded upon. But that game is like also 20 years old. And the fact that it's still, that style still holds. I think 2 years ago, I 100%ed it for the channel for a platinum review, 100% review or whatever. And I thought the music was fantastic. The music still bangs. I could still play the game. Like I still remembered a lot of the movesets, like a lot more simple, but like for the most part, it still felt like I was playing. It felt like if you had put a filter on Tekken 7, if there was like an option to put like a 90s filter or whatever that made it super polygonal and like changed like the jump arcs and physics, I could believe that, oh yeah, this is just a mode in Tekken 7. Like that's how it's like that good that it still holds up. It just looks like booty because it
because it's an old system.
Because it's really old. But I was pleasantly surprised how well it was. Blown away how well it still standed. And again, the score I cannot give enough props to.
True.
Such a good score.
True.
But anyways, yeah. So the first game I ever rolled credits on would be Pokemon Yellow, and then the first game I can remember ever playing was with my uncle. We'd play Tekken 3 on the PS1.
Okay. So the first game I played, of course, was probably be Super Mario World or that Scooby-Doo game or Dixie. I can't remember.
I'm very curious about that Scooby-Doo game now. I kind of want to look up some gameplay after this.
It's really fun. I'm telling you, it's really, really fun. I love that game. I really do love that game.
There's some games that I thought were fun and I went back and played them as an adult. They weren't fun.
I love that game.
What was it? Star Wars: The Clone Wars on the original Xbox.
Ew.
It came in a bundle and it was like a triple-sided disc, I guess you would call it, where it was the full game for Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
They remade Tetris for the Xbox. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and then it also, I believe, had a demo for the online for MechAssault. And I thought that game was a lot of fun back in the day. I used to play specifically the speeder bike level like a whole bunch over and over and over again. And then I recently replayed it, maybe 3 years ago, for whatever it is I moved away from my job for. And that game was booty. That game was so much. It was so bad, man. It was like, oh my God, it was not good. Like I literally, Harley would be like, dude, why are you still playing it? And I was like, I have to know. Like, I have to know why. Like, I have to roll credits on this. I'm not going to start it and like put it down and be like, oh man, that sucked. I have to see if it gets better. Like my memories can't be a lie. So my memories actually, like they ended up being a lie. That game was not good. And I actually do that a lot where I go back and play old games and then see if they were a lie or not, like in my memories, which I'm terrified of it happening so far. That's been like the only instance that's been like really bad. Like playing Sunshine again recently on Switch and like 100% in it all the way. Burp. Aside from some camera issues, the game's still fantastic.
Of course. Where is that at? Probably, the Super Mario would be my first game. Also Tiny Toon Adventures.
Ooh, I haven't heard Tiny Toons in such a long time.
Tiny Toons Adventures was a fun game. Did you know Porky Pig has his own game?
Really?
Porky Pig has his own game.
What, is it just called Porky Pig?
I forgot what it was called, but I remember playing that too. Porky Pig has his own game.
Is it like a platformer or like?
I believe it is a platformer.
Oh man,
it's like it's an old scary game for the SNES.
It's a scary game.
Yes.
Really?
I got a little bit of nightmares off that game.
Oh man, wasn't this such a nice time and like where you get nightmares from like simple stuff that like it's like not even scary at all. Like Courage the Cowardly Dog used to terrify me sometimes.
How does that? I don't understand why people say that show's scary. That's good. That show is not scary at all.
Because I was, much younger.
I was watching it too.
Like that one episode where they have to return the slab.
Oh my God, King's Ramsay curse. Dude, that's not scary.
It was it was creepy, man.
It was not scary.
I love the music though. Like one of the plagues where like he's playing the LP and the music's playing. And I loved it. It was oh my God. That show is fantastic. Fantastic show.
That show is not
There was supposed to be a reboot. That was supposed to be rumored a couple years back. It never came out. Broke my heart.
I was upset.
Instead, they ended up redoing, I think, like the Powerpuff Girls and what other did they remaster? I can't remember, but I was really hoping that would get a remaster, and it hasn't, or a continuation.
The first game I wrote credits on was Super Mario 64. Best 3D.
Oh yeah.
Best. The old, not the new one, the old one.
Yeah. I rolled credits on that way later than I should have. Like I got it. I've had the game for a long time, but I never beat it. And then I recently went back, maybe not recently. Like 5 years ago, I went back and played it. And then when I got it on the 3D All-Stars Mario Collection, I also 100% of that. And that's actually also on the channel, like the first 3 episodes. I still need to do the rest of the series. I've already 100% of that entire game and haven't put the videos up.
I don't like the new version.
Really?
I don't, just because one of the iconic lines is out of the game.
Which line?
When he throws Bowser. That's such an icon.
The So Long King Bowser thing? Yeah. Did they take it out?
Yes, they took it out. If you ever listen to it, they took it out.
Why?
That part I don't know, but they changed it.
That's dumb.
He just says bye-bye or something like that.
That's iconic.
Yeah,
Maybe they're going over the Japanese version of it, or maybe the European version of it, because that's weird. That's weird to me. Next question. How did you get into gaming?
How did I?
You need a second to think while I vamp. Okay, so I got into gaming because my uncle was already gaming at the time. He had a PS1. He had 2 Game Boy. He had the original Game Boy and he had the Game Boy Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe he got a PS2 relatively close to its launch. And everything I played was he used to watch me a lot when my mom would go to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be playing games like all the time with him at his house. And like that was basically what got me into it. I started at a very young age, at like 4. Is when I started playing games, and never turned back. And it's been fantastic. And for a while, all my stuff was hand-me-downs.
Really?
So the first console I ever got myself was an N64. Like absolutely myself. Like it's not like for Christmas, like my mom was like, here you go, right? Like you must clearly like this whole vidya game thing.
Vidya game.
So, and then and then my uncle, of course, would he'd be like, oh yeah, I have 2 Game Boys, because Game Boy Pocket is essentially just a smaller version of the Game Boy. So he would tell me that I could use the other one or whatever. And so he would loan me some games.
That's fun.
Yeah. So I remember playing like the Pokemon Yellow and Red, of course. The Toy Story game. Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Boy, which was really bad.
Yeah. No.
The Yoshi game, it's just called Yoshi, and it's like a puzzle game, and it has nothing to do with Yoshi. In fact, I think it's another game that they just Yoshi swapped in there for the sake of calling it a quote-unquote Yoshi game. Donkey Kong 94.
94?
Yeah, so the original Donkey Kong arcade.
Oh, okay.
Has a port to the Game Boy, and the first 4 levels are just the Donkey Kong arcade, and then after that they add 70 levels.
Wow!
And they're totally much better than the original game, 100% over. Donkey Kong 94 on the Game Boy is the best way to play Donkey Kong, the original arcade. I have no idea why they haven't remade that in any way, shape, or form, because it was legitimately fun. For a while, that was my favorite 2D Mario, because it was so good. And then maybe the really hard The Lion King game. I don't know if you've ever played The Lion King.
Nope.
It came out on Super Nintendo.
Nope.
And Game Boy. It's really hard. So that game I also played. But that's essentially all I would play with besides, what did I get? Super Smash Brothers on 64. And which that became huge. I ended up becoming damn near amateur pro at Super Smash over these last 10 years or so. And
I don't know why you don't go to tournaments.
I grew up. I don't have time. That's the thing, is I don't have much time.
True.
So I got up at 6 a.m. for this. So I don't have enough time to just drop what I'm doing. Super Smash. Oh, and Pokemon Stadium.
Okay.
Those were the 2 games I had for a long time. And I played the hell out of them.
I'm trying to think.
So that's basically how I got into gaming.
I'm trying to remember. I guess you could say this NES kind of introduced me into gaming, but I really didn't get into it till one Christmas. My parents bought me my first N64, and Super Mario 64 was part of that. And then what really made it worse was getting my first Mario Party.
Oh, yeah?
That's what really took it off for me.
Oh, yeah.
Playing Mario Party.
We recently played Mario Party.
Yes, we did.
And that was fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, man. You don't understand. We played the new Mario Party, Super Mario Party on the Switch, but we also played.
I hate that game.
It's not fair.
That game is legitimately unfair.
It just tells you, nope, you're not winning. So it just completely changes
It's just not fair.
Yeah. Oh, man. That was fun. So we literally, aside from that game, we also whipped out the 64 and we played some Mario Party 1. And wow.
That game is so much fun.
It is. And we played, I don't have, I do have a modified N64, but I don't have an HDMI N64. So we ran it through S-Video and an S-Video to HDMI converter and then put it on a 55-inch 4K. And it looked really bad.
It really was bad.
It looked really bad, but it was still fun. It was still fun. I couldn't read anything. In fact, I'm sure you had to back up all the way in order to read something because it'd be so pixelated you can't. But other than that, it was a lot of fun to play.
So that's really what took it off for me.
Yeah,
and then,
still holds up. A lot of fun.
So that was pretty much what got me into gaming. And then also having a GameCube, Melee got me into it.
Oh, man.
Melee did it to me bad.
Yeah, that was a jump. Like, oh, man. So what did I start out with? I got, after the N64, my parents got me an original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
Yeah, that ended up being the next thing I got. And at the time, Halo changed everything, right? Like, I'd say that first-person shooters are literally before and after Halo. Like, that's like a turning point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, oh, man, I got Halo and I got Ninja Gaiden. And those were just an outstanding experience for me. And I was having all this fun. And I was like I thought the Xbox was like the king of consoles, which graphically it was.
Till you got a PlayStation.
No, not yet. So I ended up, later, I was like, oh man, I love my Xbox. I think it's a fantastic, like the best device to play on. However, Nintendo has all these things that I can't play. Because,
oh my God.
So I like, as Melee came out, people don't do this anymore, of course, or at least not wherever it is we are. No, they still don't do it. I used to go to a video game store, like the old school. No, not test out. Like I would pay, like, oh, here's some money, and like, do you remember?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So
they don't do that. I'm like, why don't they bring? They would make such good money.
Would they?
Yeah, I think they would, because if you do it in a way that you can play all the retro games, I think you'll make a lot more money versus the new ones. Because
it sounds like no one will do it. Because
I would.
There's still a couple stores here. I know there's one that I go for my used video games, and here wherever it is we are, and they still do that, and it's never used. Never. It's always empty.
Do they have all the like retro? I would do just to play all that retro.
Yeah.
No one really has.
Well, that's the thing. No one has. You have to like have it. Like you have to have like the physical collection. So the place I used to go, it was owned by what were their names? I can't remember. They were really nice. No, I can't remember their names. But it was like a family-owned thing. And essentially, like, you just walk in, and then there was a counter, and then just behind the counter, they had just a bunch of controllers, like 100 different controllers, and like just TVs set up everywhere, and like honestly, like 4 library shelves, like front and back, just full of games.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you would just pay money.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. So me and my uncle would go there, and then he would go play PS2 and Xbox games, but I would always go to GameCube. And it was one of the only times where, like, one of those world peace moments where I would like sit down with like whatever my GameCube games. I'd play a lot of like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
I love that game.
I love it too. I have it like 4 times.
I love that game.
I would play Smash Bros. Melee. And like people would actually, like, other like kids would be like, hey, can I play? And I'd be like, yeah. And then they go check out a controller, and then we just play it like random. I'd never see them again. Wow. Whatever. It was cool. World peace for a while. Innocence, beauty of innocence. It was fantastic. I miss it. I still do. But anyways, I did that so many times with the GameCube that I just couldn't hold off any longer. And I bought my own, and I bought Pokemon Coliseum, Smash Bros. Melee, Sunshine, and I had a great time. I didn't get a PS2 until after I got a PS3.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got a PS2.
Weird.
Right after my GameCube. No, was it? No, yeah, after my GameCube. And that's where I fell in love with JRPGs, because Dragon Quest VIII.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's where I love JRPGs.
Literally, if it wasn't a Nintendo exclusive or Halo, everything was on PS2. It was so good.
Oh, my goodness. And then I got an Xbox 360 and Gears of War 3.
Oh, yeah?
That game was amazing.
I skipped 360. I went PS3, and I thought I absolutely made the right choice, and I feel like everyone didn't know. I'm going to say something controversial. I was right. I feel like...
Oh, my God.
Well, because outside of Halo and Gears and Forza, what do they got going on? So, I mean, essentially, at the time, though, it took like the first 2 or 3 years of PS3 were not good. But I didn't get mine at launch. I got mine like year 2.
Okay, that's smart.
So by the end of it, I think I got my PS3 maybe, what had recently came out? I think Uncharted 2 was about to come out, which ended up being like the turning moment for PlayStation, where people started flipping over and seeing that, oh shit, that thing is like really good. But other than that, like I understand that 360 had like, you know, a better market, online connectivity, and had like the third party, all that stuff. They had absolutely hands down had it, but I still preferred PS3. And I felt like by the end of it, the PS3 ended up winning that with most sales and most diversity of like high ranking titles.
And then PS4 came out, and then we all switched to that. Well, because
pretty much everyone switched to that.
Well, especially in my case, because that's where all the competitions was. Everyone was using PlayStation 4.
Everybody. The reason I never jumped on the Xbox One is because I ended up getting a PC. So,
true. And then there's no point in you
there's
even
no point.
Getting it.
Every time they would do that cross release now.
There's really no point in you getting the Xbox in.
Yeah. So they didn't start doing that in the beginning, but in the beginning they had no games. Like straight up, they just didn't have any games. So it's like there's no reason. So yeah. So PS4 all the way. And then now you're on PS5, huh?
Yes, I am.
It's your primary way to play?
Yep. Only thing till I get my PC.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see. Aside from all the that's pretty much all I had listed down for like the gaming like background questions. You have any side hobbies outside of gaming? Like, do you do anything interesting that like worthy of like attracting people over to your? And also, I do this. You know, like,
I mean, like also in wait, what?
Well, okay, so how should I say this? Like Patrick, right?
Okay.
Outside of ZoinkMeister and all the stuff we do with that, he also does. He reads audiobooks.
Okay.
For Liverbox. And,
really?
Yeah. So you could like professionally hear ZoinkMeister Patrick. He's actually listed as ZoinkMeister Patrick too.
Wow.
If you wanted to hear his thing. I mean. Personally, with me, I try to do like a little bit of everything, all over the place. Like what I play a lot of instruments.
Okay.
I was doing boxing for like a while before I ended up getting fat and became like a dad. I like dogs a lot. I do a lot of dog things. Yes, I do a lot of dog things. I like go out and things. Those dogs go with me everywhere.
Yes, they do.
So it's basically like my interest outside of here. Do you have anything interesting like that you do outside that'd be fun to mention so that people like get your personality, just like a fun quirk to like be like, oh yeah,
it's probably me into sports.
Yeah,
like playing my all-time favorite sport. I've always wanted to like professionally play was baseball.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like that's usually not people's like first pick, right? Like baseball is like not.
Baseball is like my favorite. Like and then playing baseball. I used to actually coach baseball.
I love you coach baseball.
Yes.
Interesting.
I used to coach.
That's interesting. I did not know that. So the funny thing about that is it's such a big juxtaposition. Like if you were to like, oh yeah, I like Madden and sports games, I'd be like, of course you like sports. But you're like, yeah, I like JRPGs and MMOs and fighting games. I'd be like, well, of course he doesn't like sports. But then you're like, no, like I coach baseball. It's like a totally different. And I was like, oh, okay, well, never mind.
Just like gotta be a jack of all trades here.
Yeah, which is good. It's great, man. Yeah, I am. I guess boxing. Boxing. And I used to be way into racing. I used to like really into cars and stuff. So, but I kind of grew out of that. Not that it's bad. It's just like eventually, like it's an expensive hobby to like follow. So it's like,
oh, I believe that.
Rather have this instead. Man. So do you have any videos or streams that you're working on or coming up or scheduled? Do you have a schedule that you go by, or is it just like whenever you feel like it?
It's kind of whenever I feel like it.
Okay, that's totally cool. I honestly haven't uploaded something primarily by myself in like a month and a half, which I feel really bad. The fact that I'm on the channel so much is because I record with Patrick at his studio.
You should probably do some yourself.
I do. I was working on videos before you came. So I am getting back out there. So I have at least like 5 videos on standby that I just haven't edited together. What? And then, of course, this interview that will be going up.
What?
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of stuff. I honestly have a lot of content. It's not that there's like a lack of content. I actually have a lot. Right now, I have at least 4 episodes of Crash Bandicoot Remastered Insane Trilogy. We finished that game. It hasn't gone up. But those needed to be edited. I have, I think, like 4 episodes of Resident Evil 6, the Leon campaign with Harley, and those haven't been edited. I have to finish I have to start Hitman 3. Stop doing that. Why are you scratching yourself like that?
I'm not scratching myself.
Oh, it can pick it up on the mics. What are you doing?
Oh, I don't.
God, you masochist, you psychopath. Damn near. I wish there was a word. Flabbergastatious. I don't know. Anyways, I have to do all that, and then Super Mario 64, which I started 3 episodes in and haven't touched since. That needs to be finished. Don't even get me started on the things I've completely dropped. But like,
you have a lot to do, buddy.
Well, I do have a lot to do, but I've had like a lot of life that I've had to get back to. That's the hard thing about my situation that I can't explain too much.
Of course.
With my job and my family and my life, and then all the other complexities of that. So I have a lot of content, but you said you were streaming Guilty Gears.
Yes.
Okay. So that,
it
just whenever you feel like it, like non-expected
it's
regular
either between
schedule.
Guilty Gear or Persona Strikers. Those are the two you'll probably catch me streaming until the new Final Fantasy expansion comes out. And I'll be solely focused on that and learning.
Okay, interesting. All things I wouldn't play.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to get him to expand his mind. I'm trying.
I play a lot of games. A lot of very different games.
We gonna expand your mind.
I don't like.
You gotta try.
It shouldn't be a Second Life. I don't like.
It's not a Second Life.
That's why I don't like MMOs. As I want a game to be an experience.
It is an experience.
Like that has a beginning and an end.
It does have a beginning and an end.
Yeah, but it's like 7,000 hours in. Like that doesn't sound like
a continuous story.
I don't.
It's a continuous story.
Jackie, one more thing. Did you ever watch Jackie Chan Adventures?
A little bit, yeah.
I love that show.
Yes, a little bit.
I was referencing the uncle.
Oh
Jackie, one more thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that show like a lot.
Oh my God. Challenge Showdown was where it's at though.
I forgot that show existed. Challenge Showdown.
I love that show. Challenge Showdown was the best.
It seems like we've exhausted pretty much all of the questions I had written down for this.
I told you to come with one on the fly.
Of course. We have this closing thoughts so far. We just hit the hour-long mark.
Wow.
Which we did have some like maybe like 8 minutes of like random
babbling
that doesn't really equal anything.
So the random babbling is always fun.
The random babbling is always fun.
The banter's cool.
It really is. I do enjoy the banter. In fact, sometimes banter goes on for too long and I'll realize like, oh my God, it's been 3 hours. Like, like it'll be.
Go for it.
Yeah. It's just like by the time like, I still have to like go to work and stuff and like I still have to like be.
Working ain't that important.
It literally keeps my house paid for. So, because this doesn't pay enough. I wish it does. In fact, I don't know. Me and Patrick have talked about it. Like, what happens if this actually becomes a thing?
Bye job.
So I can't do that because of like health insurance reasons.
True. But, forget that part.
Yeah,
you gotta have that.
Yeah. So I don't know, but it'll be so interesting.
If it does,
if it ever became a thing, which I don't know. We do have merch, but it's like for ourselves. Of course, I don't know if you like the shirt and the hat hanging on the wall. I don't think we've ever showed the coasters. I don't know why I haven't done that. I might do that today. Should. Yeah, I'll take a picture and put it on the community post. I don't know if you ever checked the community post. They're funny.
I do.
So what was I saying? I completely forgot. We haven't even eaten breakfast.
Yeah, I know.
We literally. I woke up at 6, and then
I woke up at 8
after a handsome usage of the toilet. I went to go. I had some coffee. I guess I wouldn't call that breakfast, but and then this monster. I was exclusively had caffeine and nothing else. So, which probably isn't the best, but just to make sure I was primed and ready for this. I already forgot what I was saying again.
Your random question?
Yeah. My random question. So, what controversial video game thing, in your opinion, is like against the mainstream? So, what opinion do you have of a video game that you think everyone else is wrong about, or that you think you like clearly, if you say it, it's controversial, and you're just like, hey, I know you guys are all gonna like beat me up for this, but Senran Kagura is the best third-person shooter I've ever. No, have you never seen that game? Senran Kagura Peach Splash.
Oh my God!
I have the special edition.
Yeah, of course you would have. Yeah, I'm not surprised you have that.
Why?
I'm not surprised.
I'm not a hentai fiend.
You lie.
I am not.
Oh, whatever.
I am not a hentai fiend.
Secretly in the closet watching hentai or something.
Why would I be in the closet? I have a whole house. Anyways, no. So what happened with that game, right? Is that
just about to get real?
It was released digitally here, right? and I'm not sure if it had like a physical like press here by itself, but when they released it with the all shirt, no shirt, no shoes, all service edition, it was exclusive
Cheeky.
to a certain store here,
Mm-hmm.
wherever it is we are, and it was a like one shot release.
Cheeky.
So when I was listening to the IGN GameScoop podcast, they were talking about this, and I was like, that sounds like a weird hentai game. And they were like, hey, if you're a collector, this is like only going to release once and only like this one time. And it's.
Please tell me you didn't get it.
So I went there and I got it.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my gosh. I went there on launch day and there was only 2 and I bought one. And then like someone behind me was like sweating like some like, cheeky like hentai ahegao shirt fat guy. He was like, are you going to get the second one?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's disgusting. I was cringing.
So I was like, okay, I got this collectible game. That's all cool. Came with a little anime book or whatever. And so I was like, oh man, well, whatever. I guess I'll give it a shot. Why not? I'll give it a little play. I bought this like $80 box or whatever. I'll give it a shot. Whatever. The collecting components isn't the game itself. It's like the stuff it came with, like the little art book and like the manga that came with it. So then I popped it in and I was like, oh man, this game is really bad. And the basis of what you do is really bad and not cool. But I saw that there was like not many people who had this game. So I was like, fuck it. And I platinumed it. I ended up platinuming it. Just to show, like, cheeky. No one's gonna. No. The game is not good. It was like the worst 40 hours I've ever. Like, dude, it was not good. It was such a bad time, and like literally,
you spent $80 for a bad game.
Yeah. So my girlfriend at the time, my ex now, was like, why are you playing that? And I was like, it sucks so bad. It's like killing me inside. But I'm going to get this platinum because I know no one's going to get this platinum. And I believe some of them were multiplayer trophies too. So, and there's no way those servers are still, I mean, they are still up. And the only reason I know that is because I went to the Anime Expo. Remember the one we both went to, but didn't know we were going to. So we like never like, what year was that? 2019? 2019 Anime Expo. In Los Angeles, we went down separately, completely. Like, you don't understand.
We didn't even know.
Yeah, we like talked to each other later. Like, oh yeah, I did something this weekend. Oh, what'd you do? I was like, oh, I went down to
Anime.
Expo. To an Anime Expo, and he was like, what? We ended up both being there at the same time and just missed each other. But when I was on the floor that had all the game stuff on it. I was like, they had all the PCs set up there and people were playing. And I was like, oh, cool, what's going on? And I glanced over my shoulder and there was a tournament for Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash. And I was like, no way. I refused to believe it. I was like,
yeah, no,
this
thank
is
you.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, how is this? They have tournaments here and like people are playing and they were good? Like,
no, thank you.
I like platinum that game off of like a joke of being like, oh yeah, it's like a funny hentai game or whatever. Like I'm like going to be one of the few people on the planet who have this platinum. And apparently there's like a whole PC community that are like still actively playing this third-person shooter.
That's disgusting.
It was, oh God.
That's disgusting.
Well, some people say that about MMOs.
You know what? Don't you say that.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. You never even answered the question.
I'm trying to
controversial.
I don't know.
What controversial? You don't have a controversial thought? Like
you have to give me like an example.
Okay, like so a controversial thought would be like, the best JRPG is Pokemon. Like,
what the hell? That is arguably
extremely arguable.
Excuse me?
Exactly. So, do you have a controversial like?
I'm trying to think. What's a controversial one? Like
I don't know. It's an opinion you have that you think no one else, like everyone would get mad at.
Honestly speaking, I'd probably say Dragon Quest VIII is probably the best Dragon Quest at all.
Dragon Quest VIII
is probably the best.
The best JRPG of all time.
Now, I wouldn't say out of their own specific series, it's probably the best one done.
Really?
Yes.
I've never played a Dragon Quest here. Actually, no, that's not fair. I have played a Dragon Quest on the SNES through an emulator for like an hour or two, and I was like, well, that was that. And then I didn't play much more.
I say 8. It's probably the best one.
Yeah?
Yep.
I'm not a big turn-based guy.
It's a really good
even though I play all the Pokemons.
I know, right? You play Pokemon games, and those games are hella turn-based.
Those games are fun. So Dragon Quest VIII, what makes that one the better as opposed to the other
music-wise? I love music-wise. Really good music. Gameplay is really good. Plus, it's different from all the other ones. That's why I like it the best.
What's different about it?
It's different because if you go back from the previous series, they all like you don't see your characters like actually fighting. You'll just see like a screen and then them hitting and you see the damage.
Yeah.
When 8 came out, you see your characters actually move and fight. That's why I like it.
Like the turning point where they started like more modernized mechanics and stuff.
Yeah, they started modernizing it more, and I like it.
I heard the last Dragon Quest that came out was really good.
It was, but like I said, 8, in my opinion,
it's different.
It's way better than 11. It's just, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's way better.
As far as my quote unquote glasses pushed up and JRPGs go, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best ones in this series, and those are what's old. They're like decades old.
I kind of prefer, if I had to say, out of the Pokemon games, probably Diamond and Pearl.
Okay. I was going to say, you're wrong, but that whole generation's good. That's
Diamond
generation
Pearl or Hoenn. The Hoenn region was good too.
Yeah, those are all good. Those are all really good games. I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver just because it feels like my childhood, and then it has two whole regions to explore, and I don't know, something about the way, like, I don't know. I also really enjoy Diamond and Pearl, but that whole generation, because that's generation 4, Diamond and Pearl, and then Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, and then Platinum. All 4 of those games are fantastic. 5 of those games are fantastic. So yeah. I'll probably look up some gameplay later for Dragon Quest 8. See what it looks like.
It looks nice.
But I'm sure it won't look
You need to
fun.
quit. Oh my God.
I'm not a
try at
JRPG.
least one. If there's any, I want you to try.
Played Final Fantasy.
15 does not count. 15 is a horrible game.
Oh.
It is a very horrible game.
I didn't think it was horrible. I think the story was just
trash.
Bad. But I wouldn't say that it was.
That game is disgustingly bad. That game is disgustingly bad.
Okay.
So if anything, I recommend you try Dragon Quest 8 or Final Fantasy 9.
Final Fantasy 9.
Those are the 2 best games to get started with a Final Fantasy.
What is
game.
9 on again?
9 is on the PS4 and the PS5.
Oh, but what is the original release?
PS1.
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 It's a PS1 game.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. I didn't realize it was that old. I thought it was like early PS2, but I guess that would be X or 10 and 10-2, huh?
Yeah, 10 and 10-2.
Okay.
Actually, I'm playing 10-2 right now as well.
Really?
Yes.
How is that?
That game is actually, I'm trying to get like broken as hell in that game. So I'm trying, but it's really hard.
Is 10 or 10-2 the one that has the really bad laughing scene?
10. The most the like, cringiest laugh. It's so the cringiest laugh.
It's so bad.
It's really uncomfortable. I was like,
you just gotta look up and what do they do? What are they even doing? They're standing in the water with big old shoes.
Well, no, they're standing in Luca and they're about to go to the Mihen High Road, and Yuna is upset about something. I forgot what she was upset, and Titus is trying to make her like feel better. So he starts just laughing. And it's like,
dude, it's so bad.
It's bad. That's like a horrible scene. And
it's a horrible scene.
It's a very bad scene.
Like, it made me feel cold, like watching it. I was like,
it was just like, come on.
Yeah.
This was bad voice acting. That's like very bad voice acting.
Speaking of bad voice acting, I think it's time for us to go. We've been on this for quite some time. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been RikuTodoroki. Find him on Twitch under the exact same username, right?
Correct. Find me under the exact same.
So that is RikuTodoroki.
Yep.
RikuTodoroki. You said you have unlisted videos on YouTube that there's no point in looking at because they're
really
unlisted.
No point. I might release those if I feel comfortable enough with myself.
And you don't have any social media for your gaming stuff at all? Besides,
I have a Twitter.
You have a Twitter for? Would you like to plug that, or do you want to keep that separated for whatever reason?
We can plug that in.
Okay. What is that? Is the same username?
Same name, same spelling, but add 17 to the end.
Okay.
You'll find
RikuTodoroki 17.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And on that note, I think it's time for us to go. So thank you for watching. There'll be more of these to come, of people coming on the show just for like interviews. He will be reoccurring at some point. I'm not sure what game we'll play. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Hopefully, I can walk him through Final Fantasy 9. That's my host.
I'm not gonna play Final Fantasy 9.
hoping-
You're crazy. I'm not gonna play Final
We're
Fantasy
gonna-
9 on the channel.
We're
You're
going
crazy.
to do a walkthrough of Final Fantasy 9
I am
just for
not
him.
doing Final
or
Fantasy 9.
Dragon Quest 8.
That is gonna
dude.
take so long. I'm
I will
not
pay
doing
for it.
I will
I
take
will-
the money and not play it. Like I do
I
not
will
want to
pay
play
for it
Final Fantasy 9
myself.
on the channel.
I will get him to play. So you guys can be looking forward to that. One of those two.
At some point.
At some point.
Comment, of course. We enjoy the comments. I'll get back to it as soon as I can. Please do follow him and check out his streams at whenever you can. There's no regular schedule that he goes by. So, but they are, I believe when you have it set to save
Yes,
your,
all my videos are saved, so you guys can check them out whatever you like.
I think they only save for like 2 weeks or something like that, right?
Do they?
Before they delete themselves.
I have no idea.
So, they'll be up there at some point. So go enjoy that. Again, if you liked it, like the video. If you don't, I'm sorry. Comment on how it could be better. Comment on whatever you wanted to see. Any questions for him, I will tell him. I'll forward him back and be like, oh, whatever. Or you do have a YouTube channel, so you can comment on them.
Yes.
So that will all be done. But thanks for watching. You've been great. Have a good one.
See ya.